A timid grace sits trembling in her eye, Charles Lamb. A timid grace sits trembling in her eye, as love to meet the rudeness of man's sight, yet shedding in the delicious lunar light, that steeps in kind oblivious ecstasy of their care-crazed mind, like some still melody, speaking most plain the thoughts which do possess a gentle spirit, peace and meek quietness and innocence laughs on maiden purity. A look whereof might hear the cruel smart of changed friends, of fortune's wrongs unkind. Might the sweet deeds of mercy move the heart of him who hates his brethren of mankind. Turn thou those lights for me, who fondly yet past joys win loves and buried hopes regret. Anger by Charles Lloyd. Anger in its time and place may assume a kind of grace. It must have some reason in it, and not last beyond a minute. If the further limbs it go, it does into malice grow. So the difference is what we see attacks the serpent and the bee. The latter you provoke, it inflicts a hasty stroke, puts to some little pain, but never sinks again. Close in tufted bush or brake lurks a poison-swilled snake, nursing up his cherished wrath. And the perplex of his path, in the cold or in the warm, mean him good or mean him harm, hence of the fate may bring you, the wild snake will always sting you. As When a Child by Charles Lamb. As when a child on some long winter's night, affrighted clinges to his grandam's knees, with eager wondering and perpetual delight, listens strangely tales of fearful dark decrees, muttered wretch by necromantic spell, of those hags at the witching time of murky midnight ride the air sublime, mingle full embrace with fiends of hell. Cold horror drinks its blood, and with tear more gently starts to hear the bell and tell of pretty babes that loved each other dear, murdered by cruel uncles men that fell. Even such with shivering joys thy tones impart, even so thou siddest meltest my sad heart. Beauty's Song by Charles Lamb. What's life still changing every hour? Is all the seasons in a day, the smile, the tear, the sun, the shower, there's no December, no dismay. More we hail some envied queen, that eve she sings some cottage guest. And if contentment gilds the scene, contentment makes the cottage blessed. Who more than I, as truth can feel, I feel yet and charm to find, where was a turn the spinning wheel, the station humbles not the mind. No, in days of youth and health, nature will smile the fortune frown, and with my song content is wealth, newly every toil shall crown. Blindness by Charles Lamb. In a stage coach, where later chanced to be, a little quiet girl my notice caught. I saw she looked at nothing by the way, mind seemed busy on some childish thought. I with an old man's courtesy addressed the child, and called a pretty dark-eyed maid, but her turn was pretty eyes and see the wide extended prospect. Sir, she said, I cannot see the prospect, I am blind. Never did the tongue of child utter a sound so mournful as her words fell on my ear. Her mother then related how she found her child was sightless. On a fine bright day she saw her lay her needlework aside, and, as on such occasions a mother's will, leaving off her work, began to chide. I'll do it when 'tis daylight, if you please. Cannot work, mamma, now it is night. The sun shone bright upon her when she spoke, and her eyes received no ray of light. Breakfast by Charles Lamb. A dinner party, coffee, tea, sandwich, supper, all may be in the way pleasant. But to me, not one of these deserves the praise and welcome of newborn days, breakfast merits. Ever giving cheerful notice we are living another day refreshed by sleep, and its festival we keep. Nor all I would not slight, was kindly words we use, good night, yet parting words are words of sorrow, and may not be the sweet good morrow, with which again our friends we greet, and at breakfast room we meet, the social table round, listening to the lively sound of those notes which never tire, of urn or kettle on the fire. Sleepy Robert never hears, or urn or kettle, he appears when all are finished, one by one dropping off, and breakfast done. Yet has he to his own pleasure, as breakfast hour is his hour of leisure. And left alone, he reads or muses, or else in idle mood he uses to sit and watch the venturous fly, where the sugars be let high, peering over lumps so wide, rocky cliffs of sweet delight. Choosing a name, Charles Lamb. I've got a newborn sister. It was nigh the first that kissed her. A nursing woman brought her to papa, his infant daughter, with pasty eyes that glisten. She will surely be the Christian. Papa has made the offer, I shall have a naming of her. No wonder what would please her. Charlotte, Julia, Louisa, Anne and Mary, that are common. John's too formal for a woman, Jane's a prettier name beside, the other Jane that died. I would say it was Rebecca, but she was a little quicker. Alice's pretty, but with looks better known English books. Alice left off long ago, Blanche's out of fashion now. None that I have named as yet are so good as Margaret. Emily's neat and fine, when you think of Caroline. How I'm puzzled and perplexed what I choose to think of next. I'm in a little fever, lest the name that I shall give her should disgrace or defame her. I believe Papa to name her. Clock striking. Charles Lloyd. In a year of a church clock a few minutes ago I was asked and I answered I hardly did know, but I thought that I heard it strike 3. Said my friend, when the blessings we always possess we know not the want of, price them the less, church clock was no new sound to we. A young woman afflicted with deafness a year, but that sound you scarce heard, first perceived she could hear. I was near her, and saw the girl start with such exquisite wonder, such feelings of pride, happiness almost to terror allied. She showed the sound went to her heart. Crumbs to birds, by Charles Lloyd. A bird appears a thoughtless thing. He's ever living on the wing, and keeps up such a caroling, and little else to do but sing a man would guess had he. And I hoped he has little cares, and very hardly often fares, which so patiently he bears, but listening to those cheerful airs, who knows but he may be one of his next meal of seeds. I think to that his sweet song pleads, if so his briard succeeds. Let's gather them among the weeds, all the small crumbs I see. Envy, by Charles Lloyd. With the rose tree is not made to bear the violet blue, nor lily fair, nor the sweet vignette. If his tree were discontented, or wished to change its natural bent, it all in vain would fret. And should it fret, you should suppose, and I had seen its own red rose, and after gentle shower, I had ever smiled as roses scant, or could ne'er be discontent with its own pretty flower. Like such a blind and senseless tree as I've imagined this to be, all envious persons are. If care and culture all may find some pretty flaw in their own mind, some talent that is rare. Eyes, by Charles Lloyd. Lucy would to her spine the cousin Jenny's eye, which would to love her move. And far her feelings prove when on me she does advance, the good-natured nose was eyes which in the way saying much, so much would say, they to me no blemish seem, or as none I them esteem. I their imperfection prize above other clearer eyes. Eyes do not as jewels go by the brightness and the show, and the meanings which surround them, and the sweetness shines around them. Isabel's a black as jet, but she cannot that forget, and the pain she takes to show them robs them of the praise we owe them. Anne's the blue affected fall, Kate's the bright and fierce of all, and the sparklers of the sister from ill humour lose the lustre. Only Jenny's eyes we see, by the very plainness, free from the vices which do smother the beauties of the other. Feigned Courage, by Charles Lloyd. Horatio, of idle courage vain, was lodging on air his father's cane, as with fumes of valor well displayed, nor thought himself as hero, nor no weight. And now, he cried, I will Achilles be, a sword I brandish, see the Trojans flee. I'll be Hector, and his angry blade, alain through heaps of slaughtered Grecians made. And now by deeds still braver and wise, and no less than Edward the Black Prince. Give way, ye coward French, as thus he spoke, I am the fancy's sufficient stroke, to fix the fate of crazy boisters. The muse relates the hero's fate with tears. He struck his milk-white hand against the nail, seized his own blood, and feels his courage fail. Aware is now the boasted valor flown, that in the tented fields so late was shown. Achilles weeps, great Hector hangs the head, and the Black Prince goes whimpering to bed. Home Delights, by Charles Lloyd. To operas and balls my cousins take me, and I'm fond of plays my new-made friend would make me. In summer seasons of the days of fair, my godmother's coach I take the air. Uncle has a stately pleasure barge, gilded and gay, adorned with wondrous charge. The masts polished, the sails are fine, the awnings of white silk like silver shine, the seats of crimson satin, the rowers keep time to music with the painted oars. In this on holidays we oft resort to Richmond, Twickenham, or to Hampton Court. What turns we play, we sing one and bait the hook, another angle some more idle look, and the small fry that sport bend the tides, so that the swan on the surface glides. My married sister says there is no feast equal to sight of fawn, bird, or beast. With her in search we so often roam. My kinder parents make me blessed at home. Tired of excursion, visitors, and sights, the joys are pleasing to these home delights. Incorrect Speaking, by Charles Lloyd. Incorrectness in your speech carefully avoid, my Anna. Study well the sense of each sentence, lest in any manner it misrepresent the truth. Veracity is the charm of youth. You will not, I know, tell lies, if you know what you are speaking. The truth is shy and from us flies, unless delicately seeking in every word falsehood the place apply. Falsehood is not shy, not she, ever ready to take place of truth. Too oft we falsehood see, or at least some latent trace of falsehood in the incorrect words of those who truth respect. Lines by Charles Lamb. While young John runs to greet the greater infant's feet, the mother standing by with trembling passion of devout admiration beholds the engaging mystic play and pretty adoration. The nose is yet full the wind of those low beginnings, whence be there their winnings, and wonders at the intent of those new rites, or what strange child worship meant. At his side an angel doth abide with such a perfect joy as no dim doubts alloy, an intuition, a glory and enmity, passing the dark condition of blind humanity, as if he surely knew all the blessed wonders should ensue, or he had lately left the upper sphere, and had read all the sovereign schemes and divine riddles there. Motes and the Sunbeams by Charles Lloyd. The motes up and down in the sun ever restlessly moving we see, whereas the great mountains stand still unless terrible earthquakes there be. If these atoms that move up and down were as useful as restless they are, and a mountain I rather would be a mote with sunbeams are fair. My birthday by Charles Lamb. 12 years since in this house what commotion, what bustle, what stir, and what joyful ado, every sound and family of my devotion in the world I came 12 years ago. I've been told by my friends, if they do not belie me, my promise was such as no parent would scorn. A wise and the age to prophesied by me, augured nothing but good of me when I was born. At the vain of the hopes which are formed by a parent, vanishes the marks which in infancy shine. My frail constitution soon made it apparent, and nourished within me the seeds of decline. On a sick bed I lay, through the flesh my bones startled, my grief-wasted frame to a skeleton fell. A physician's foreboding took leave and departed, and wished me dead, no, who wished me well. Life and soul were kept in by a mother's assistance, who struggled with faith and prevailed against despair. Like an angel she watched with the lamp of existence, and then would leave where the glimmer was aware. By her care I am alive now, but what retribution can I for life twice bestowed thus confer? Were I to be silent, each year's revolution proclaims each new birthday is owing to her. The chance-rooted tree that by waysides is planted, when a friendly hand will watch over its young shots, has less blame if in autumn, and produces wandered, enriched by small culture, it put forth small fruits. At that which with labour and hot beds reared, secured by nice art from the dews and rains, unsound of the root, may with justice be feared, if with pain and with interest tell us hard pains. Nurse Green by Charles Lamb. Your prayers you have said, you've wished good night. What causes wake it keeps my darling awake? This throb in your bosom proclaims I'm afraid, disturbs your composure, can innocence quake? Why thus do you cling to my neck, and enfold me with fear unimparted your quiet divorce? Mother, there's a reason, for Susan has told me, a dead body lies in a room next to ours. Know it, and but for forgetfulness, dear men you the coffin this day should have seen, and read the inscription, and told me the year and day of the death of your poor old Nurse Green. Or not for wealth the world would I enter, and chamber when a dead body lay hid, lest somebody bold of an eye should venture to go near the coffin and lift up the lid. And should they do, sir, the coffin uncover, the corpse underneath it would be no ill sight. This frame, when its annual functions are over, has nothing of horror living to fright. To start at the dead is preposterous error, to shrink from a foe it can never contest. Shall that which is motionless move we to terror, of all become restless, cause we are at rest? To think harm of her our good feelings forbid us, by whom when a babe you were dandled and fed, who living so many good offices did us, I can persuade me would hurt us when dead. If no endeavour your terrors can smother, if vainly against apprehension you strive, come bury your fears in the arms of your mother, my darling, clinch close to me, I am alive. Nursing by Charles Lamb. Oh hush, my little baby brother, sleep, my love, upon my knee. Although, dear child, we've lost our mother, it can never trouble we. You are but 10 weeks old tomorrow, I couldn't know of our loss. The house is full enough of sorrow, little baby, don't be cross. Peace, cry not so, my dearest love. Hush, my baby bird, lie still. He's quiet now, he doesn't move, fast asleep his little will. My only solace, only joy, is the sad day I lost my mother, was nursing her own Willie boy, my little orphan brother. On being asked to write in Miss Westwood's album, Charles Lamb, a feeble muse, at fain her best would write the command of Frances Westwood, and feels her wits not in the best mood, for lately on some idle fancies, and she's much given to romances about the self-same style of Frances, which seems to be a name in common attributed to man or woman. She whence contrived this flattering mole, with which she hopes no soul will quarrel, that she, on with twin tidal decks, combines what's good in either sex, unites, on very other cases, masculine sense to female grace, and, quitting not a proper rank, is both in one thanny and frank. On the Lord's Prayer, by Charles Lamb, I've taught young lips the good words to say over, which from the petition we call the Lord's Prayer. And now let me help my dear child to discover the meaning of all the good words that there were. Our Father, the same appellation is given to a parent on earth, the parent of all. Our gracious permission, the God that's in heaven allows his poor creatures his Father to call. To hallow his name is to think with devotion of it, and reverence mention the same. We are so young, should strive for some notion of the awe we should feel at the Holy One's name. His will done on earth as it is done in heaven, is the wish and the hope we are suffered to breathe, that such grace and favour to us may be given, like good angels on high we may live here beneath. Our daily bread give us. Your young apprehension may well understand is to pray for our food. Although we ask bread, no other thing mention, God's bounty gives all things sufficient and good. You pray that your trespasses may be forgiven, as you forgive those that are done unto you. Before this you say to the God that's in heaven, consider the words which you speak, are they true? If anyone has in the past them offended, as angry creatures who soon take offence, these words of prayer are surely intended to soften our minds and expel wrath from whence. We pray that temptations may never assail us, and deliverance back from all evil they find. They never can hope that our prayers will avail us, we strive not to banish ill thoughts from our mind. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and for ever. These titles are meant to express God's dominion and majesty o'er ye, and amen to the sense of the whole gives assent. On the side of Swans in Kensington Gardens, by Charles Lamb, queen bird that sittest in the shining nest, and the young sucklings so hatchest, and wove over royal bird that watchest, lest the white mother wandering feet molest. Shrined are your offspring in the crystal cradle, brighter than Helen's ere she yet had burst shelly prison. And shall be born at first, strong, active, graceful, perfect, swan-like, able to treat the land or waters with security, unlike poor human births, conceived in sin and grief brought forth, both outwardly and in, confessing weakness, error, and impurity. That heavenly creature's own succession's line, the births of heaven like to yours would shine. Parental Recollections, by Charles Lamb. A child's plaything for an hour, its pretty tricks we try, that for longer space tire and lay it by. But a new one which to itself full seasons could control, and with mock the sense of pain out of a grieved soul. For straggle into loving arms, young climber up of knees, and forget the thousand ways, alive and all shall cheese. Penny Pieces, by Charles Lamb. I keep it deep apart within my glove. You do what someone usually may love, is that deposit. I make no doubt some penny pieces you are not without. No, papa, waits on my glove, be quite odious things to carry. I know see this little bit of gold is surely all that I shall want. I shall only call for a small purchase I shall make, papa, and then a trifle I'm to buy mamma. Just to make out the chance, so there's no need to carry penny pieces, so indeed. Now I know, when why a blind man said unto a dog, which was blind beggar led, you see some fine young ladies stray, be sure you'll lead quite another way. A woman's friend the ladies used to be, now I find no tale of misery, a lever from the pockets draw a penny, the blind man did not see, there were not any. Suffer little children, forbid them not to come unto me. Charles Lamb. To Jesus our Saviour some parents presented the children, what fears and what hopes we must feel, and this the disciples would fain have prevented, our Saviour reproof their unseasonable zeal. Only free leave to come to him was given, but of such, with the blessed words Christ the Lord spake, of such is composed the kingdom of heaven, the disciples, abashed, perceived their mistake. With joy when the parents the children brought nigher, and earnestly begged that his hands he would lay on their heads, then made a petition still higher, that he for blessing upon them would pray. Every young children was brought to adore him, to kneel at his feet and look up in his face. and dope now in heaven they still are before him, children still of his love and enjoying his grace. For being so blessed is to come to our Saviour, or deep in their innocent hearts it must sink, for so visit divine and most holy behaviour must flow from that spring of which when they did drink. The broken doll, a child's lamp, an infant is unselfish spirit, at a word of wit, the sweet delight which from participation springs is quite unknown to these young things. We elder children when we'll smile, our dear let shone a while and bear with them until they see there's a sweet felicity, pleasing more than only one little craving selfish John. He laughs and thinks it a fine joke, that he our new wax doll has broke. Anger will never teach him better, we will the spirit and the letter of courtesy to him display, by taking in a friendly way these baby frolics, till he learn to sport from mischief to discern. Reproof a parent's providence is, assist his discipline is a wish. My studied kindness to affect little brother's young respect. What is a doll? A fragile toy. What is its loss? If the dear boy who half perceives he's done amiss, retain impression of a kiss that followed instant on his cheek. If the kind and loving words we spake of never minded we forgive, if these in a short memory live only, perchance for half a day, or minds a doll if wet should lay the first impression in his mind, that sisters are to brothers kind. Thus the broken doll may prove foundation to fraternal love. The Christening by Charles Lloyd. Rate a half angelic sight, nest of pure baptismal white, a mother so fond of bring the little helpless nameless thing, of hushes soft and mild caressing, at once to get a name and blessing. Close to the baby priest doth stand, the sacred water at his hand, that must assoil the soul within, from every stain of Adam's sin. The infant eyes the mystic scenes, and knows what all those wonders means. And now he smiles, as if to say, I'm a Christian made today. Now frightened clings to nursehold, shrinking from the water cold, whose virtues rightly understood are as biffid as waters good. Strange words, world, the flesh, the devil. Poor babe, what can it know of evil? And we must silently adore mysterious truths and not explore. And now for him in after times he shall read these artless rhymes, if looking back upon this day, with easy conscience he can say, I have in part redeemed the pledge of my baptismal privilege and woe, and more will strive to flee all that my sponsors kind renounced for me. The Confidant by Charles Lloyd. Anne was always full of thought, as if she had many sorrows known, and most her full heart was fraught with troubles that were not her own. The whole school to Anne used to tell whatever small misfortunes unto one befell. Being so by all beloved, that all into her bosom poured their dearest secrets, she was moved to pity all her heart abhorred, or stir hers with means became for all the sorrows can to girls' tender age befall. Though individually not much distress throughout the school prevailed, yet as she shared it all, 'twas such a weight of woe would her assailed, she lost the colour, loathed the food, and grew so dull that all the confidence from her withdrew. Released from her daily care, no longer listened to complaint, she seems to breathe a different air, and health once more her cheek does paint. Still Anne loves her friends, we will not hear again the list of grievances which cost so dear. The Fairy by Charles Lloyd. Said Anne to Matilda, I wish that we knew if what we've been reading of fairies be true. Do you think the poet himself at the sight of the fairies he yet has so prettily write of? Oh, what a sweet sight if he really had seen the graceful Titania, the fairyland queen. If I had such dreams, I would sleep a whole year. I would not wish to wake but a fairy was near. I fancy that I in my sleep have been seeing a fine and delicate ladylike being, whose steps and whose motions so lightful and airy, I knew at one glance that she must be a fairy. Her eyes were blue, and her fine curling hair of the lightest of browns. Her complexion was fair, and her hair so a woman's, and for her height, I really think that she measured not quite 2 feet, yet so just in proportion with all, I was almost persuaded to think she was tall. Her voice was a little note of sprite. Where do you think I have made of the fairy right? Confess, I believe, I have not done it amiss. Pardon me, said Matilda, I find in all this fine description you've only your young sister Marian taken a copy of here for fairy. The First Leaf of Spring by Charles Lloyd. The fragile, thin, gossamer thing, first leaf of spring, Lady light is brief that quakes, the fire shakes, scarce stout enough to hold the slender form together in calmest Ellison weather. Next sister to the weathered spider weave, poor flutterers to deceive, and the treacherous silken bed. A whole art was sustained, or nourished, all trivalous for art, without dispute. Will place the mighty part, and art the herald to a throng of buds, blooms fruit, that shall their cracking branches sway, while birds on every spray shall pay the copious fruitage of sylvan song. That 'tis with thee that on thee shall look first leaf of his beginning modest book. Slender word, God knowest, and ill grace bestowed, and in thy train shall follow after, with wisdom, seriousness, and hand of laughter, provoking jests, restraining soberness, and the appropriate dress. I shall joy to be outdone by those who brighter trophies won, without a grief, that thy slender promise have begun first leaf. The first tooth, by Charles Lamb. The house of busy joy, just because the infant boy has a tiny tooth to show. I've got a double row, all is wide and all is small, yet no one cares for mine at all. Can say but half a word, yet with single sounds preferred to all the words that I can say in the longest summer day. He cannot walk, yet if he put his milk motion out his foot, as if he thought he were advancing, it's prize to win my best dancing. Sister, I know you jesting are, yet oh of jealousy beware. Smallest seed should be in your mind of jealousy, it will spring and it will shoot till it bear the banal fruit. I remember you, my dear, young as is this infant here. There was not a tooth of those, your pretty even ivory rose, but as anxiously was watched till it burst its shell new hatched, as if it a phoenix were, or some other wonders rare. So we began to walk, so we began to talk, as now the same and calmness past. It's not fitting this would last long of no infant days. A child is with milk and praise. The Godlike, Charles Lamb. In one great man we view the thoughts a parallel to all the gods. Great Jove which shook heaven with his brow could never match his princely bow. In him a Bacchus we behold, like Bacchus too, he never grows old. Like Phoebus next, the flaming lover, and then he's Mercury all over. A Vulcan for domestic strife, and aimly lives without his wife. And sure, unless our wits be dull, Minerva like, when moon was full, he issued from paternal skull. The Great-Grandfather, by Charles Lamb. My father's grandfather lives still, his age is fourscore years and 10, looks the monument of time, the agest of aged men. For years lie on him like a loud happy man you will not see than he, and ever he can get his great-grandchildren on his knee. And he our parents have displeased, he stands between us as a screen, where more good deeds in the sun, or bad ones in the shade are seen. His love's a line that's long drawn out, yet lasteth firm unto the end. As hard as oak, yet unto us, as like a gentle reed can bend. A fighting soldier has he been, yet by his manners you would guess that he his whole long life had spent in scenes of country quietness. His talk is all of things long past, for modern facts no pleasure yield, of the famed year of 45 for William and Culloden's field. The deeds of his eventful age, which princes from the thrones have heard, can no more interest wake in him than stories of another world. In his length of days we wolf, like a strong tree he have stood, it brings into my mind almost those patriarchs old before the flood. The journey from school and to school, by Charles Lamb. Of the joyous day, is that on which we come, at recess from school away, each led to his own home. But though the coach is cramped full, the weather very warm, think you a boy of us is dull, or feels beside his harm. The destined sun is life and fun, more than sultry weather, a higher zest gives every breast, was jumbled altogether. Sometimes we laugh aloud, sometimes huzzah, huzzah. Who is so buoyant, free and proud, as we home travellers are? But sad is every lad, the day on which he come, that last day on which away we all come from our home. The couch too full is found to be, why is it cramped thus? And every one can plainly see, there's not half room for us. Soon we exclaim, oh shame, this hot and sultry weather, who but our master is to blame, who packed us together? The destined sun does every one most terribly annoy, complaints begun soon every one elbows his neighbour boy. Not now the joyous laugh goes round, we showed not know who is are, as that a group may not be found, and we returning are. The Lame Brother, by Charles Lamb. My parents sleep both in one grave, our only friend's a brother, and his thing upon the earth we are to one another. A fine stout boy I knew him once, of active form and limb, and we leaped or jumped or ran, I was proud of him. I leaped too far, he got hurt, he now does limping go. I think on his active days my heart is full of woe. He leans on me when we to school do every morning walk. I cheer him on his very way, he loves to hear me talk. The theme of which is mostly with what things he once could do. Listens pleased when sadly says, Sister, I lean on you. Then I reply, indeed you're not, scarce can you wait at all, and has no still younger years to memory recall. Led by your little elder hand I learned to walk alone, careful you used to be of me, my little brother John. Often when my young feet tired, you've carried me a while, so together we can sit and rest a little while. Our kind master never minds if we are the very last. He bids us never tire ourselves with walking on too fast. The Man and Woman and the Monkeys by Charles Lamb. Than beasts the words the meanings could declare, some well-dressed man and woman did repair to gaze upon the monkeys at a fair. And one who was the spokesman of the place said, in the court north you might plainly trace the likeness of the good old man's face. His observation none impeached or blamed, but in the man and woman when 'twas named, drew in the head or slunk away ashamed. One monkey, who had more pride than the other, his infinite charm could scarcely smother, that Puck the wiser said unto his brother. The slights and coolness of his human nation should give a sensible ape no mortification. 'Tis thus they always serve poor relation. The Newborn Infant by Charles Lamb. Then with sweet beds of roses, as full little Anne supposes, the spirit of the babe reposes before it to the body come. Or as philosophy more wise thinks, it is cometh from the skies, when other babes are in the room, and that is all which is quite clear even to philosophy, my dear. The God that made us can alone reveal from whence the spirit is brought into young life to light and thought, and this the wisest man must own. And I'll talk of the babe's surprise when first he opens his new eyes and first receives delicious food. For the age of 6 or 7 to mortal children is not given much reason, or think he would, and very naturally you wonder, what happy star he was born under, that he should be the only care of the dear sweet food-giving lady, who fondly calls him her own baby, her darling hope, her infant her. The Offer by Charles Lamb. Tell me, would you rather be changed by a fairy to the fine young orphan heiress Geraldine, or still be Emily? Consider, you answer me, how many blessings are procured by riches, and how much endured by chilling poverty. After a pause, said Emily, the words orphan heiress, I find many a solid reason why I would not change be. Or the thought I live in poverty, and that my sister hates so many, that few indulgencies, if any, fall to the share of me. Think you that for wealth I'd be of even the least of them beareth, or lose my parent and be left an orphan Emily? Since it should be Emily, although I look like Geraldine, I feel within this heart of mine no change could work it be. The Old Familiar Faces by Charles Lamb. I have had playmates, I have had companions, in my days of childhood, in my joyful school days, all are gone, the old familiar faces. I have been laughing, I have been carousing, drinking late, sitting late, with bosom cronies. All are gone, the old familiar faces. I loved the loved ones, fairest among women, closed her doors on me, I must not see her. All are gone, the old familiar faces. I have a friend, a kinder friend has no man, like an ingrate, as my friend abruptly left him to muse on the old familiar faces. Ghost-like I placed round the haunts of my childhood, or have seemed the desert I was bound to traverse, seeking to find the old familiar faces. Friend of my bosom, for more than a brother, I were born in my father's dwelling, so might we talk of the old familiar faces. For some they have died, and some they have left me, and some are taken for me, all are departed, all are gone, the old familiar faces. The Rainbow by Charles Lamb. After the tempest in the sky, how sweet yon rainbow to the eye! Come, my Matilda, now while some few drops of rain are yet to come, and this honeysuckle bower, safely sheltered from the shower, may count the colours o'er. 7 there are no more, each and each so finely blended, where they begin or where are ended, the finest eye can scarcely see. A fixed thing it seems to be, and while you speak, see how it glides away, and observe it hides half on its perfect arc now, we scarce any part of it can see. What is colour? With a natural philosopher, I would tell you what does make this myth for every colour take. But an unknown eye may view nature's rare size, and love them too. And if I a rainbow see, each precious tint is dear to me, for every colour find I where which flowers, which fields, which ladies will. A favourite green, the grasses hue, a finely violet blue, and a pretty pale bluebell, and rose I love so well, all the wondrous variations of tulips, pinks, carnations, with woodbine here, both flower and leaf. Is it true it's past belief that every flower and every tree and every living thing we see, every face which we espy, every cheek and every eye, and all the tints and every shade of the rainbow's colours made? The Reaper's Child, Charles Lamb. If you go to the field, the reapers now bind sheaves of ripe corn, the final less, on a few months of age, the hedgerow you'll find left alone by its mother upon the low grass. The mother is reaping, the infant is sleeping, and the basket holds the provision is less with a hard-working reaper, and as a sleeper regarded and hunger dust of the bakeress. And it opens its eyes, and it does loud cries, which its hard-working mother or father will hear. She comes at its calling, she quits its squalling and feeds it and leaves it again without fear. You were as young as the field nurse daughter, who fed in the house and brought up on the knee, suddenly watched, when fond mother taught her how time will bestow the nursing of we. The Reproof by Charles Lloyd. Mamma heard me with scorn and pride, the wretched beggar boy deride. Do you not know, said I, how mean it is to be thus begging seen? For weak I were not fed, I'm sure would not beg my bread. And when away she saw me stalk with most self-important walk. And meeting her upon the stairs, always my consequential airs were changed to an entreating look. Give me, said I, the pocket-book, Mamma, you promised I should have. A pocket-book to me she gave. After reproof and counsel safe, she bade me write on the first page, with naughty action all in rhyme. No food to have until the time, and writing fair and neatly worded, the unfeeling fact I had recorded. Slow I compose and slow I write, now I feel keen hungry bite. Mother's pardon I entreat, and beg she give me food to eat. Dry bread would be received with joy by a repentant beggar boy. The Ride by Charles Lloyd. Lately an equipage I overtook, I had to live it o'er a narrow brook. No horse it had except one boy, who drew his sister out and it the fields to view. A happy town-bred girl in fine chase going for the first time to see the green grass growing. This was the end and purport of the ride, I learned, as walking slowly by their side, heard their conversation. Often she, brother, is this the country which I see? The bricks were smoking and the ground was broke, there were no signs of verdure when she spoke. He, so well informed, delight in chiding the ignorant, his questions still derided, to his good judgment modestly she yields. Till brick kills past, I reached the open fields. Then, as a rapturous wonder round she gazes on the green grass, the buttercups and daisies. This is the country sure enough, she cries. Is it not a charming place? The boy replies, we'll go no further. No, says she, no need. A finer place than this can be indeed. I left them gathering flowers, the happiest pair that ever London sent to breathe the fine fresh air. The Rook and the Sparrows by Charles Lloyd. A little boy with crumbs of bread many a hungry sparrow fed. Was a child of little sense, who his kind bounty did dispense. But suddenly it was withdrawn, and all the birds were left forlorn in a hard time of frost and snow, and knowing whitherward to go. He would no longer give them bread, because he had observed, he said, that sometimes to the window came a great black bird, a rook by name, and took away a small bird's share. So foolish Henry did not care what became of a great rook, that from the little sparrow took, now and when, as 'twere by stealth, a part of her abundant wealth. Nor ever more would feed his sparrows, thus ignorance a kind heart narrows. I wish I had been where, I would have told the child, rooks live before and the same with sparrows do. Also would have told him too, birds act by instinct, can attain a residue of man. Nay, that even when distress does upon human nature press, I needed to be too strict in seeing the failings of a fellow being. The Sparrow and the Hen by Charles Lloyd. A sparrow, when sparrows like parrots could speak, addressed an old hen who could talk like a jay. Said he, it's unjust that we sparrows must seek our food in our families fed every day. Are you like the peacock, the elegant bird, at sight of whose plumage a master may please, and shouldn't wonder that you are preferred to the yard, and affluence you live at your ease? I affect no great style, I am not costly in feathers, a good honest brown I find most to my liking. It always looks neat, and is fit for all weathers, but the finger-gray mixture is not very striking. You know the bird from the Isles of Canary is fed, for an airs to sing in a fine cage. But you note for macaques so seldom does vary, the fancy of man it cannot much engage. A chirp to a song such approach is much nearer, nay the nightingale tells me I sing not amiss. A voice when questioned I ought to be dearer, but the only assures me there's nothing in this. Nor is it your proneness to domestication, for it dwells in man's barn and the build a man's fetch. As they say to each other, but to our vexation, our your safety alone man keeps diligent watch. Have you learned to read? Said the hen to the sparrow. No, madam, he answered, I can't say I have. And that is the reason your sight is so narrow, the old hen replied with a look very grave. Mrs. Glass's treatise I wish you could read. Importance is shown, and is proved to us why a man shields us and feeds us. Of us he has need even before we are born, even after we die. The Two Boys by Charles Lloyd. I saw a boy with eager eye open a book upon a stall, and read as he devoured it all. Which when the stallman did despise, unto the boy I heard him call, You, sir, you never buy a book, wherefore in one you shall not look. I will pass slowly on, and with a sigh he wished he never had been taught to read, and of the old churl's book he should have had no need. Of sufferings the poor have many, which never can the rich annoy. I soon perceived another boy, who looked as if he'd not had any food for the day at least, enjoy the sight of cold meat in a tavern larder. This boy's case, thought I, is surely harder. His hungry longing was for the penny, beholding choice of dainty dressed meat. No wonder the wish he ne'er had learnt to eat. The Young Letter Writer, by Charles Lamb. Dear Sir, dear Madam, or dear friend, with ease are written at the top. And those derby words are penned, a youthful writer oft will stop, and bite his pen and lift his eyes, as if he thinks to find in air the wished for following words, or tries to fix his thoughts by fixed stare. Hardly all in vain, the next two words may be so long before will come. The writer, sore perplexed, gives in despair the matter o'er. In mature age he sees a ready pen so swiftly knitting, with envy beholds the ease of long accustomed letter writing. Courage, young friend, the time may be when you attain mature age, some young as you are now may see you with like ease glide down a page. Even then, when you, to years adapter, in right phrase your meanings rap, there comes the words, and all your letter may be woes to kind words atop. Thoughtless Cruelty, by Charles Lamb. There, Robert, you have killed that fly, and should your thousand ages try the life you've taken to supply, you could not do it. You surely must have been devoid of thought and sense to have destroyed a thing which no way you annoyed, you'll one day rue it. 'Twas but a fly, perhaps you'll say, that's born in April, dies in May, and has but just learned to display his wings 1 minute, and the next has vanished quite. A bird devours it in his flight, or come a cold blast on the night who has no breath in it. A bird that seeks his proper food in Providence, whose power and youth that fly with life, and that thinks good, may justly take it. But you have no excuses for it. A life by nature made so shortless, reason is that you for sport should shorter make it. A fly little thing you rate, but Robert, do not estimate a creature's pain by small or great. The greatest being can have but fibers, nerves, and flesh. These the smallest ones possess, although the frame and structure less escape our seeing. To a river in which a child was drowned, by Charles Lamb. Smiling river, on the bosom sunbeams play, while fleeting and retreating vast more recede from the way. In that channel, choked with ooze and gravely stones, deep immersed and unhearsed, lies young Edward's corse, his bones. Ever whitening, as the waves against them dash, what thy torrent in the current swallowed, now it helps to wash. As if senseless, thinks it feeling in this case, or so blindly and unkindly it destroyed, it now does grace. To a young lady on being too fond of music, by Charles Lamb. Why is your mind thus all day long upon your music set, her reason swallowed in a song or idle canzonet? I grant to Melisenda, when your instrument was new, I was well pleased to see you when its charms a studious woo. The rudiments of any art, or mastery that we try, are only on the learner's part got by hard industry. And you are past your first essays, there you play, your touch is skilful and light ensures your praise, all beyond that's too much. Music's sweet uses are to smooth each rough and angry passion, to elevate at once and soothe heavenly recreation, but to misconstrue and defeat the end of any good. And what should be our casual treat will make our constant food, while to the exclusion of the rest, the single art you ply, nobler studies are suppressed, your books neglected lie. Could you in what you so affect the utmost sum and reach, beyond what fondest friends expect or skilfullest masters teach? The skill you learned would not repay the time and pains it cost, use precious season frown away, and reading leisure lost. A benefit to books we owe, music cannot dispense, one does only sound bestow, the other gives us sense. To Charles Lloyd, by Charles Lamb. A stranger and alone, I passed those scenes we passed so late together, and my heart felt something like desertion. I looked around me, and the well-known voice of friend was absent, and the cordial look was there no more to smile on me. I thought on Lloyd, all he had been to me, and now I go again to mingle with the world impure, with men who make a mock of holy things mistaken, and of man's best hope things scorn. The world has much to wrap the heart of man, and I may sometimes join its idle laugh. Of this I now complain not. Deal with me, omniscient Father, as thou judgest be said, and in thy season tender for my heart. I pray not for myself, I pray for him whose soul is sore perplexed. Shine woe on him, Father of lights, and in the difficult paths make plain his way before him. His own thoughts maybe not think, his own ends not pursue, so shall he best perform the will on earth. Greatest and best, the will be ever ours. To the poet Cowper on his recovery from indisposition, by Charles Lloyd. Cowper, I think, my God, that thou art healed. Mine was the source and melody of all, and I am sad to think that it should light upon a worthy head, and thou art healed, and thou art yet, we trust, the destined man, born to reanimate the lyre whose chords have slumbered and have idle lain so long. To the immortal sounding of whose strings did Milton frame the stately paced verse. Among whose wires of lighter finger playing, our elder bard Spenser, in a gentler name, the Lady Muse's dearest darling child, and died forth the deafest tunes yet heard in hall or bower, taking the delicate ear of the brave Sidney and the maiden Queen. Woe when take up the mighty epic strain, Cowper, of England's bards the wisest and the best. Wedding, by Charles Lamb. As busy Aurelia, twixt work and twixt play, was labouring industriously hard to cull the wild weeds from the flowers away which grew in her father's courtyard. In a juvenile anger, wherever she found, she plucked and she pulled and she tore. The poor passive sufferers bestrewed with ground, and we to them all she forbore. And earth was her chance in some nettles to light things till then she had scarcely had named. The vulgar intruders caught forth on her spite, in transport of rage she exclaimed, Shall Bryce, so unsightly and worthless as woes, the great sparling leaves was presumed to mix the pink, the jonquil, and the rose, and take up the flower sweet room? To the odious offenders and rage she flew, but she presently found to her cost the tingling unlocked for a pain that was new, and rage was in agony lost. To father she hastily fled to relief, and told him the pain and the smart. Of kindly caresses he soothed her grief, and smilingly took the weed's part. World Aurelia, this garden of ours resembles to apiary to demon the world's larger garden ourselves as the flowers, and poor but as weeds to steam. But them if we rate with rudeness repeal, or some will be passive enough, from others who are more independent as well, if we meet not a stinging rebuff. Which is the favourite? Charles Lamb. Brothers and sisters I have many, I know there is not any of them but I love, yet I will just name them all, and try if there be one a little more loved by me than all the rest. Yes, I do think that I love best my brother Henry, because he has always been most fond of me. Yet to be sure with Isabel, I think I love her quite as well. And I assure you, little Anne, a brother nor a sister can be more dear to me than she. Only I must say Emily, being the eldest, is a right here to all the rest I should prefer. After all I've said, suppose my greatest favourite should be Rose. Not John and Paul are both more dear to me than Rose is always here, although they are half a year at school. And yet with neither is her rule, I've named them all, as only 7. I find my love to all so even, to every sister, every brother, I love not one more than another. Why not do it, sir, today? By Charles Lamb. Why so I will, you noisy bird, this very day I'll advertise you. Perhaps some busy ones may prize you, a fine unpaired as was ever heard, a word that thus set forth all charms about you, and saying a family should be without you. Thus far gentleman addressed the bird, then to his friend, an old procrastinator, Sir I am, do you wonder when I hate her? Though she but 7 words can say 20 and 20 times a day, she differs with all my dreams, my projects, plans, and airy schemes, mocking my foible to my sorrow, I'll advertise this bird tomorrow. To this the bird 7 words that say, why not do it, sir, today? Written Christmas Day, 1797, by Charles Lamb. I'm a widowed thing, now thou art gone, my own familiar friend, companion, sister, helpmate, counsellor. Alas, that honoured mind to sweet reproof and meekest wisdom in times past have smoothed the unfeeling harshness of my foolish speech, and made me loving to my parents old. Why is this so, O God, why is this so? Honoured mind become a fearful blank, her senses looked up, and herself kept out from human sight or converse, but so many of the foolish sort are left to roam at large, doing all acts of folly and sin and shame. Her paths are mystery. And I will not think, sweet friend, when we shall one day meet, and live in quietness, and die so fearing God. I have not, and these fond suggestions be, a fit of weak nature, loath to part with what had loved so long, and held so dear, a word to be taken, to left more sinning, yet unpunished, is safe and we. It is the will of God, and we are clay in the potter's hand, and at the worst are made from absolute nothing, vessels of disgrace, This most righteous purpose wrought in us, our purified spirits find their perfect rest. Written in the first leaf of a child's memorandum book, the child's lamp. My neat and pretty book, however small lines see, they seem for any use to be unfit for me. My writing, all misshaped, uneven as my mind, in this narrow space can hardly be confined. And I would strive to make my hand less awkward look. I would not willingly disgrace thee, my neat book. The finest pens I'll use, one whose pains I'll take, and I these perfect lines the monitors will make. Every day I will set down and order you how the day wasted is, and should there be a few at the year's end that show more goodly to the sight, if haply I find some days, not wasted quite, the small portion of them I've passed aright, when shall I think the year not wholly was misspent, that my diary has been by some good angel sent? Written on the day of my aunt's funeral, by Charles Lamb. For two are dead, very kind as thou been to me in my childish days, thou best good creature. I have not forgot thou didst laugh by Charles when he was yet a prating schoolboy. I have not forgot the busy joy on that important day, when childlike the poor wanderer was content to leave the bosom of parental love, his childhood's play-place and his early home, the rude fosterings of a stranger's hand, hard uncarved task, and schoolboy's scanty fare. How did thine eye peruse him round and round, hardly know him in his yellow coats, red leathern belt, and gown of russet blue. Farewell, good aunt. Go thou and occupy the same grave bed where the dead mother lies. O my dear mother, our dear dead saint, with novel placid face, I oft have said the mother smile, to think I soon should thrive in this bad world, and she was dead and gone. And where a tear hath said, take shame, O son, and that same child has proved himself unkind. One parent yet is left a wretched thing, a sad survivor of his buried wife, a palsy-smitten childish old man, a semblance most forlorn of what he was, a merry cheerful man. A merrier man, a man more apt to frame matter for mirth, mad jokes and antics for Christmas Eve. Making life social in the laggard time to move on nimbly, never yet did cheer the little circle of domestic friends.